split push, right? That's the world where I could see a win con. I don't
Yeah.
think they're going to be able to strictly execute on the kind of poke them down, chip them, get to an objective win off of that. Especially when you're against tanks like this Ornn and Leona, and to a lesser extent even the Wukong, who can sustain quite quickly back up off of a camp. I think that, hands down, I'm favoring AXIZ in this draft. Easier execution and more conditions to win. Better engage, better disengage. Like, there's not many avenues that V3 are favored. But if you're like 10 times better players, the V3 comp can win and should win a lot of the time.
Yeah, definitely. Looking pretty dangerous, to say the least, as we're waiting to get on the Rift here. Overall, though, it's gonna get interesting. It's gonna get interesting here. I'm curious how you feeling though in the top lane though. Here, who's coming out on top here? You got Yellow Yoshi right on that Ornn, seeing him do some things with that, say the least, and Washidai on the Camille, who is one of those picks that we do like to see coming out from him. Who do you think's coming out on top there? No pun intended.
Ooh, I think that on the scale of things, I want to say that Washidai should be able to win this one. If they are getting that attention, not just from Unica, but I think also from Patel. I think that overall you don't want to be ganking for your Ornn that often, unless it is a Ignite TP Camille, but we'll see that shortly. Because if it is, then it becomes a bit more of a potential area to punish while the easier to access lanes. If it isn't, though, then I really don't think there's many avenues for Yellow Yoshi to get away with this one, outside of maybe Washidai overcommitting, which is something we know they have done in the past.
True. Definitely can find an opportunity there if they're looking for it. There we go. We got the loading going on. About to be on the Rift. V3 Esports. This is their time to shine. It's new year, new me. They need to go ahead and get themselves the first win here. Game on, ladies and gentlemen, as we are on the Rift. Average 5-man setup here. Megumin looking to hide in the wall there with the birds. You love to see it. And so overall, level 1, no shenanigans just yet.
Would be heavily surprised, as we do see it is going to be a flash Camille, so it's a bit less of an accessible lane for Swamp to be ganking, especially pre-6, as we get almost a repeat of the previous game with the ward being cleared out, this time by the opposing team, as AXIZ will cover out that defensive vision, and now can look to start in lane with Swamp starting on the top side. I like this a lot from AXIZ. Bot lane is your easiest place to snowball. You have the most reliable gank set up down there early, and more importantly, if you get them ahead, it can become a real nuisance for Dresscode and Hotel to deal with, as Washidai is looking to see where this Wukong is starting. Really good info to get for the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Rather than just dropping out a ward, Summer just going to go ahead, see for himself. And with that info, that's going to be absolutely huge when it comes to that jungle tracking. Unica, meanwhile, as well, starting down on this bot side, going to be looking to path his way up top. But regardless, just noticing as well, the Glacial Augment on Azuka there. That means that if once that level 2 engage comes down, if you do get caught, it's going to be a really bad spot if, for example, Jesco doesn't have that Arcane Shift already.
It is so rough to try and escape from that one. And especially in team fights, it makes it super irritating for Unica and Washidai to chase into the enemy team, because those slow fields get so much done, and all it takes is Azuka tagging the E. Again, we should mention, Azuka is a complete unknown quantity for us. This is a new player to the roster, and we have really got no background info on them. It is extremely heads or tails how this bot lane is going to go, and I am excited to see what kind of execution we get from this fresh new player in their first game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where it's really just surprise me, right? That's all I'm here for. Want to see how he performs, see what they bring to the table, see if they can impress. New kid on the block, right? All eyes on them, and can they lead their team to victory? Obviously, as a support, a little tricky to lead your team to victory, but regardless, you can always show up. Swamp getting spotted out once again, though, by yet another ward, and so they have they're tracking all Swamp's movements right now. They've got their geolocator on his phone, and they are just following him around the Rift.
Looks like Unica is just going to pivot straight over to the crab beforehand. And the thing is, AXIZ do know that Swamp is being tracked, because it was pinged out by Megumin that Yu-Gi-Oh! Placed that ward on the red buff, so it will just be the flipping of the two crabs. Both teams get one. I mean, a level 2 gank is one thing. I think a dive onto a Ezra Rakan is wishful thinking, so this will just be continuing to farm. No intense aggression from either jungler early. And like we're saying, less action, favors AXIZ. They're not going to complain with getting a free trip to level 6, and they're really not going to complain with not getting pushed into after that.
Yeah, definitely not. Trouble Bubble gonna go ahead and land, but no battle sort of follow up just yet. Megumin gonna have to go ahead, take some safety on his own tower there. Didn't really see much of a level 2 coming out in this bot lane. Obviously, they were shoved under the turret slightly, so still looking for that initial engagement opportunity, but gonna look to just go ahead and clear some vision here as both of these bot laners are looking to find something.
6, I'm really not opposed to just seeing Azuka leave lane and go gank for the Azir, gank for the Ornn, because when you look at the enemy laners, Zoe, well, as soon as they hit level 6, the portal jump makes them a sitting duck for Leona ult when they come back through. Chain that with Azir, and suddenly you have a very dead Yu-Gi-Oh! Same thing for top lane, where Washide only gets one chance to get out with that hook shot, and if it gets interrupted, then, well, that's enough said. So, again, AXIZ, kind of just playing it safe. They don't need to rush. This is the team that wins eventually, if given enough time. So I'm very curious to see what V3 continue to do. Just going to passively farm up to 6 at the moment. No real notable CS leads picking up in the top lane. It's about 6 when you consider when these minions are going to go, so it's nothing to shout about.
Yeah, definitely. Overall, just not too much really going down just yet. Why should I pushing out this wave here? We did see the recall coming through from Sanctuary, went on back, already has the Berserker Greaves, so that's definitely gonna up that attack speed coming out. But for now, not too much going down. First drag on the map as well, but no one pivoting quite to grab it just yet. Do see Swamp maybe looking to make a move here, clearing out some vision here. My god, so much vision already coming down. Gonna look to just go ahead and clear that, and maybe we see something happen.
I think that was a bit of paying your dividends, knowing your Zoe is about to be 6. So they are going to be vulnerable when they go forward once Mega Minute gets that Emperor's Divide. So it will just be a free dragon take. Nothing in the world can go wrong here. As now, continuing on, exactly the same thing. Very standard early game. Neither of these teams want to make the first mistake of the split.
Yeah, exactly. It's like not even about making the first move, just who makes the first mistake is kind of the bigger question, really. Drag gonna go into the hands of AXIZ here, and honestly, I don't think they could be any happier. They just keep doing their thing, right? Farming up, itemization coming out, grab the drag, no real fighting going on, no threat just yet. Life's good for them.
Definitely not going to complain with how this is playing out. No pressure being put down as... there's not much to say until we get to see action, right? This is going to be just us chilling for a while, waiting to see who makes the first move. And I'm definitely not trying to cast a curse it like last game and see immediate aggression, but I wouldn't complain if I did.
Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't mind. Would be pretty nice if they just went in and butted heads all of a sudden out of nowhere. God, that would be crazy. Azuka definitely shouldn't just use his E there and just go in, right? That would be insane. What? No.
Wouldn't it be crazy if we just, I don't know, engage bot lane for no reason? Not even anything notable. Like, we got another cult.
Yeah.
I was waiting to use that one, but I was like, oof, maybe I could save that for 10 minutes before we get that far in.
Yeah, overall, wow, it's just it's dead on the map. I'm not even gonna lie. It's just both these teams. It's some handshake, some agreement was made. It's like, hey, listen, first 10 minutes, we're just gonna chill, guys. Okay, we'll farm it up, right? Everyone gets to kind of do their own thing. We're all equal footing, and then we duke it out. How about that?
The club is open, the dance floor is ready, and neither team wants to actually step on and start dancing. They're both happy to just sit there, have a couple more drinks before they even start doing anything. As this is just going to be waiting to see what happens around the Herald. Who's going to passively sneak into the pit and take that one away? My odds are going to be on Swamp, but hot damn, there's no reason for that. It is just putting a coin flip.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, just getting burst it out there a little bit. Swamp on his way, though, up into this river here. I'm going to maybe clear out some vision first. The back as well coming out from Washidai.
Out of jungling?
Yeah, maybe.
No, never mind.
Now that would be a little
Please,
rude.
Swamp, please.
You might just run into the jungler. There we go. The first action of the game. We might just get to see it as Unica does spot out Swamp here, taking away the Raptors here, grabbing a few for himself, but once again, not risking anything. Gonna go ahead and back off. A lot of damage coming out though from the paddle started from Yu-Gi-Oh! So overall, not too much coming out of it though. Unica on his way over, though. Maybe this is them pivoting for the Herald here. Swamp definitely needs to be careful. The trouble bubble does land, and oh no, that's it for wow. And there it is. We were talking about how once that bubble lands, it should be just an absolute CC chain madness, and that it was. The Grand Entrance comes in, the Spectral Maw comes in, and just nowhere for Swamp to go.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Big fan of this Zoe pick, and you can see why playing it with proficiency, as that is all you need. Just the one bubble, like you said, it results in the play that is going to just give you a free Rift Herald. Looking at the map, obviously, given how we've been talking about the game state, no plates have gone down yet, so you're not going to get a massive amount by chucking that somewhere, but it does mean that it opens up the possibility for V3 to make an aggressive play in a lane, and I know guys in the audience, they could make an aggressive play and then proceed to snowball a tower off it. I'm using a lot of conditional words right now, and that's not just because we've got V3 AXIZ, which in of itself is already just impossible to predict how it's going to go, but we also have V3 AXIZ on the durability patch, where you don't have the obligation to do anything for a while.
Very true. They can really just chill, honestly, do what they want, just keep vibing. Not much more to say at the moment. Top lane still just a farming island. Really, both laners don't want to make that first mistake. Are both level already way past level 6. Still haven't looked to do anything just yet. But regardless, maybe this next Dragon Hex victory coming up in 50 seconds, where we finally get to see some hands being thrown.
Maybe. Maybe is what I got for you there. I would like to see the hands thrown. We do already have things like the Azir Ultimate online, like you're saying. There's plenty of tools to do it. It's just the question of, do you want to risk it for a 10-minute dragon? Is that what you want to do? Do you want to throw your entire series away, your entire chance at the LJL Summer? Because at the end of the day, I joke, but it's got to be a lot of pressure on these players, right? None of them had the spree split that they wanted, and I would say that this isn't just particularly for V3, it's a similar case for AXIZ, who had such high standards set in the previous summer split, and then to fall so low with the roster swaps coming in this spring. It definitely has to weigh on some of these players, particularly Megumin, the persisting factor throughout both of those splits. It is just going to weigh, and now we'll get the dragon aggroed. No aggression at the moment. There's potential for it, but it doesn't look likely.
Yeah, I know. Swamp, meanwhile, in that top jungle still was clearing that out, and so Unica should be able to grab himself that head, placing so much deep vision just so that they know exactly who's coming and when. That way they can just walk away if any aggression is coming. They can just shy away instantly.
Just need to know. I mean, you have the dash tools, right? Everybody on V3, with the exception of Yu-Gi-Oh, has an easy way to get out over a wall. Whether it be Unica's ultimate, which would be the heaviest investment, or a flash from Yu-Gi-Oh. Nobody is actually in danger unless they get jumped on from afar. And the thing is, unlike V3's comp, which does, as we saw earlier, have a really clean CC combo available, AXIZ doesn't necessarily have the same thing. They have a lot of knockups, but it's really Azuka who can hold a single target down for an extended period of time.
Yeah, definitely. Yu-Gi-Oh doing a little bit of damage here on the Megumin, looking to trade out. I gotta say, this is it kind of feels like this is the first game where it feels like all lanes have just kind of handshake the farm. They're like, listen, we're cool, right? Just farm, bro. We're cool, right? Like, just do your thing. I'll do my thing. It's all good.
I sadly have to agree. That is exactly what we have got happening on the screen. And every time I go to speak, I pray for a caster curse. It's a wonderful day for rain right now, as, good lord, you get to see the reason that AP Zeri exists. I know they're not building it, but that W crit coming out from Sangju does so much damage, even without any AP behind it. It's just an absolutely absurd ability, as, again, freebies on the map, nothing too interesting happening. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. It's 6:30. I'm not gonna lie. I still feel like I'm waking up a little bit. This game is kind of doing that to me right now. Like, I need some action going on. I need some adrenaline pumping. Maybe we finally get that with the Herald getting dropped here. Gonna look to crash into this turret. Maybe Heddle as well, moving up, trying to apply some kind of pressure here. Gonna crash into there, grab themselves 2 plates.
Wow.
But ultimately, yeah, just nothing really coming out of it. Are just gonna go ahead and opt to just back off here, clear some more vision.
Nothing coming out of it. I just saw 160 gold influx onto 2 players. going off the standard set so far, that basically is a team fight at this point. It's just going to be the blue buff steal.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're doing it. Let's go. Okay, finally. Sangchu is getting absolutely bursted. Finally goes down. They take him out. Ozuka needs to run for his life. Unica gonna get that reset hop on over the wall. The sleepy bubble throw hits as well. The knock up, the mystic shot, and everything connects. And they find themselves 2 kills. That, my God, they were waiting the whole time. They were like, we're gonna make them seem like they've been safe, and then we're gonna pop on out on them.
my heart wasn't ready for that one. I mean, I saw what was going to happen, but even though it looked like it would be an engage, it was just so hesitant. It could have not been the case. Very good punish coming out from V3. Just spot them on the ward and said, okay, hold on. Treaty goes for lane minions, not for jungle camps.
Yeah.
As this is going to be the brilliant clamps coming in from Unica. And keep your eyes on Yu-Gi-Oh! After this initial kill goes down. Because we do get Sangchu getting jumped on by everybody. You got to commit your summoners, because what else are you using them for at the moment? Amazing slide over the wall, but this bubble really does the work at the end here. Guarantees that they manage to pick up the second kill. And push in towards that bottom lane. Plates are gone now, so we won't see anything too notable going down in that kind of gold influx, but at least we got something.
Yeah, definitely. Also, I'm just realizing both its kills going on to Heddle as well. You got the 2-0 the 2-0 Rakan, dude. Oh,
no, you just got one of those ones. They already had one.
Yeah,
Please don't do this to me. I didn't even notice the kill participation on the I mean, I know they got them, but hot damn.
Oh my God.
No, you fool. That's great, because it means we could get the Shirelias and run into the enemy team quicker.
Ah, I see.
Or run away, alternately.
Gosh, the all-wise Melvin, dude. I did not even think of that one.
You know, I mean, being around J-Real, I got a whiff of the Hopium for V3 this game, who, in fairness, are looking decent, right? We obviously wanted a lot more aggression from them, but with 3 Divine Sunderers picked up in inventory and a Ludens ready to go, they're in a good spot to start posturing around these objectives, and if AXIZ continue to play as passively as they have been, well, I mean, the bubble really has been enough to facilitate 2 of these kills now, so going onwards, I can't see a reason why it would stop there, right? If you aren't willing to make an action and you're a bit too scared to go from AXIZ, then V3 can just walk these dragons down over and over. Of course, it's a cloud, but it's something. They're going to get a free tower because, once again, AXIZ just ceding all pressure in mid lane.
Yeah, it kind of feels like V3 is like, listen, we can't lose if we don't make any mistakes, right? And we can't make any mistakes if we just play extremely safe. And honestly, it's kind of working out for him a little bit. Like, I mean, you know, there are 3 kills on the board right now. We do see that bot turret is going to go down by the Herald there, so that's going to be some gold going to the hands of AXIZ. Drag is up as well. Maybe we finally get some real action going on here, but just overall, V3 has really just been only looking for these fights where it looks absolutely optimal and winnable for him. This time around, though, might just look a little bit different here. TP coming out as well. Is looking
it's a Camille flank, but they know where Lushke is.
Yep, they do see him, and so they realize that they're not too safe right now. Need to be careful. Unica going to drop the mist as well, just in preparation of a fight that might break down, but both teams just don't want to do anything just yet. You go actually looking to
eyes on
that
swamp
lane a little bit, though. Indeed, eyes on swamp here, and now it feels like they have AXIZ sort of boxed in. Never mind, though, they're looking for dress code, though. Get onto him. So much CC comes down. Dress code running for his life. Not going to be enough, though. The trouble bubble is not going to put him to sleep at quick enough. It's a swamp picking up that kill, and with that, V3 is going to go ahead and retreat and concede the dragon over to AXIZ.
We start to see the power of that engage potential. Ornn against an immobile mage of the Zoe just means that you have to commit so much to escape. It tags onto dress code. Will burn both of their summoners, but aren't able to get away because of how good the chase potential is from AXIZ. You even have an ADC who can follow over the walls if needed, so this is just going to be fine and dandy for AXIZ coming out of that one. Not going to lose anything across the map outside that mid tower that kicked off the play.
Definitely. So for now, Zuka is replaying. Oh, we actually do get the replay of it, though. Let's go.
I mean, come on, we've not had much action to replay right now, so we're taking every opportunity we can get. So
take what we can get.
This is, I think, smart from Hatel to completely separate, because the committal that comes down from AXIZ is enough. Really nice finish up by Swamp there. If they didn't commit the smite, then maybe might have been able to limp away. Not worth the risk from them. They had a second one ready for the dragon. So all is well. Gonna have the Ornn ultimate coming back up in about 20 seconds, so I don't think it will be AXIZ looking to siege mid. Just going to be posturing around the top side of the map, making sure that Megumin is safe on this Azir. Going to be fine at the moment. We do have Unica looking around, but spoiler alert, aggression really only comes off of the back of a Zoe bubble if it isn't an AXIZ full engage.
Yeah, definitely got to land that first, otherwise no game. Absolutely. And so for now, Sanctu Ozuka looking to just push this mid lane here, get some of this farm going. Same with Jessica and Headtall, with both of these objectives still being down at the moment. Baron not being up for another 50 seconds. Still going to be a minute here. Washidai pushing this ball lane as well, looking to take out that tier 1 turret, but not quite finding it just yet.
So one of the biggest issues with going for this split push strategy is because now, well, his towers, it's not going to make much of a difference. With an Ornn able to clear the wave in front of them every single time, you're just seeing every single attempt that Washide goes for, they aren't getting much tower damage down, as now actually, Yellow Yoshi is roaming to go look at their own red buff and potentially group up with their mid lane and then move up to the top side, because this is just a full rotation from the AXIZ squad to guarantee a tower. It trades on the bottom side of the map, so not going to be a massive amount to shout about. Both teams going to be completely fine with how that plays.
Yep, definitely Unica looking. Maybe if you can find something here, clear out some more vision. Washidai still pushing. That Marlin is going to go ahead and do as much damage as he can to this tier 2 tower and get on out of there with the hook shot. Megumin in that top lane heading on back as well. Too much coming out of it though, like you said, just trading both of those tier 1s, so nothing to write home about just yet. But with that Baron on the map, I'm curious if we see either team look to try and pivot for it with this kind of safe playstyle that they've been going for.
Both teams Baron DPS. AXIZ definitely have a better show of it, just having the Azir already gives you a head start. But looking at how both of these teams want to play, the biggest issue, right, is that both of these mid laners really are not a fan of being in a side lane. Same case for the ADCs, but that one's a given. The Zoe hates being in a side lane because you don't have as many walls to set up with the bubble. You're very, very susceptible. You have to commit a flash to escape 9 out of 10 times. Megumin on the Azir has the dash away, but even then, it's not the same as being something like a LeBlanc, or like this Camille, for a better example of the current game, who can get away reliably, or at very least fight their way out when they have multiple members committed to them. So it does mean that both of the comps want to be looking to play this with 2 lanes, focusing one on mid and then having a side laner. And overall, that works better for V3 because it means that Washide has a better chance of getting stuff done, if they can ever get stuff done.
Yeah, the big if, right? The big if that they can find something there. Meanwhile, there's mid lane. There's Go just pushing out that wave, but overall, they're not gonna leave their side of the map. It feels like they are just honestly, they're playing it safe. And I mean, I can't blame them. It's like we were talking about before. It's a lot of massive pressure on them right now, right? It's like you went 0-21 last split. You need to get a win today. Like there's no universe where you can lose because that would just be crushing. But overall, you do got to take some risks if you want to come out ahead.
We'll just be looking for the dragon in 42 seconds. Prepare your vocal cords because you might get to shout a little bit. This is going to be the golden opportunity for it. And the question is, how early will Yellow Yoshi be TPing down there? Because if they leave early, well, we could see just abandoning the dragon from V3 and letting the Camille go for 2 tower split push. Pick looking.
Ooh, gonna find that pick maybe on Azuki. Nah, actually gonna go ahead, get him low. But look back at him. Oh my god, that was some nasty damage. And it still goes down to the ignite. Wow, that would hurt. I'm not gonna lie, that one hurt.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Really clapping on this Zoe so far.
Yeah.
If they hit a bubble, they typically do get a kill. I think that we could actually probably go back through the VOD and do the maths on it. It's got a damn good ratio going so far for bubbles to kills, as now we do just get a freebie dragon going over to V3. It's going to take it to 2 apiece, minimum 33 minutes before we get a soul. And I don't feel like a Cloud Soul is going to make a massive difference to, realistically, anyone in this game. You could argue Hatel would have a better time with it. Sangchu simultaneously could also do with it. But outside that, nobody else is like screaming, oh boy, I can't wait for this Cloud Soul. Can't wait for that bonus move speed. As just nice stuff right here. Keep your eye on Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, absolutely right. Looking to find that the paddle star comes through. So much damage. Oh my god. Even flashes to try and get away and just burns to a crisp, goes down. And that one picks all they needed right AXIZ with that huge tank and initializer out of the way there. They're like, well, not much we can do here. And it's just a cloud drag. We'll just frit it over.
Ooh. Okay, I was going to say, it looked like AXIZ were looking towards that Baron for a second there, but then they split across the map and sent Sangju towards bot side, potentially looking to collapse onto Washide. They still have to teleport on Yellow Yoshi, not going to commit to anything interesting here for us, but they will just take the base and continue to scale up this crit itemization from the Zeri, starting to show force already at 2 items. Taking a look across the board, most champions now starting to hit their 2-item power spikes, as Unica, I'm going to say notably, going for the second item Deadman's Play. I've seen Viego start to do this more often, and it just makes you more survivable, but way, way less effective if you actually find someone. I don't think there's a single champion, bar the Leona, that you're going to see Unica able to solo kill. Saying that, when are we ever going to see 2 people on their own on this map outside of Camille and Ornn? Let's be realistic.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point, they honestly just accepted, like, okay, Yu-Gi-Oh hits a bubble, that's when we go in. That's a free kill. Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't hit the bubble, we leave, we run. There's nothing, there's no point, not even gonna risk it. And so that's why they're just gonna have
great example.
Yeah, see, exactly. The bubble doesn't connect, goodbye, we leave.
We'll come back next wave, maybe see. As probably a good time to retreat, with 2 members of AXIZ rotating over. And one thing I will give credit over to V3 is they've been quite proactive about getting vision down, which is essential, right? We're talking about in the pregame, you need to be ahead for poke to work. The Zoe and the Ezreal, while they haven't been ahead necessarily, they've been net neutral, which given how passive this game has been effectively ahead, right? They've been allowed to poke in certain circumstances. As now, AXIZ really looking for this mid priority, potentially looking to threaten a Baron, or at very least get some degree of action going on the map, clear out this very well established V3 vision. Just going to put a bit more ifs and buts on the table, leave V3 with questions, and maybe try and prompt a mistake out of them. A very Rascal Jester-esque moment there.
Yeah, definitely. Washidai as well in this bot lane, just doing Washidai things. Split push coming out. Wow, that precision protocol doing a lot of damage. Looking to maybe find something, but Yellow, she sniffed it out. That flash came out from Washidai as well, but won't find anything. Just going to go ahead, keep farming this wave. Wants to get that tier 2. Eventually, give him another couple of minutes. He'll get it at some point.
Should be able to grab it on this wave if they want to commit, but the only thing is, you know that Yellow Yoshi will be coming off a base, full resources, and if you burn all your mana taking this tower, it means that you will not be useful if you TP over to this Baron, and AXIZ recognizing that, going to start it up. I really like this. This is a perfect time to go for the play, because if you leave, which Yellow Yoshi is doing, you're going to be completely fine. It's almost impossible for Washide to commit to this play.
Yeah, definitely. Baron down to 4k health already. Unica waiting, trying to find something. Washidai actually going to opt to not be locked, because they do end up stopping the Baron, actually leaving instead. It's going to let it reset. And so overall, got a little spooked, and they went ahead and backed off.
Wow, I mean, you are flipping a Baron at the end of the day, so I get the nerves, but you committed so much already, having Yellow Yoshi TP up there. It looks like, because of the mana and the fact that the dragon is spawning soon, we won't see anything else committed from Washide pushing forward towards that tower. Yu-Gi-Oh! Looks like they might be able to get a top 1 here just off of the minion wave. It'll be close. Yeah, they're going to walk in to get credit for it at very least. Bop, done, easy. Dragon 30 seconds. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has Smite as well. So actually, a very dangerous Baron to take when you consider the potential steal of a Zoe over the wall with their burst damage and the Smite and Unica's Smite. Right decision at the end of the day from AXIZ to not fully go in for that one.
Yeah, no, they had the foresight, and so for now, nothing quite going to go down. We do see the little extra turret they're coming up from Megumin, trying to lock down the map here a little bit more.
Oh,
so
this is good.
Now, oh, this could be maybe looking to trade objectives here. Did have to kill that one ward, and so V3 will have an idea that something's going down. This time around, they might look to commit. The True Shot Barrage doing a lot of damage onto Swamp there, so they need to be careful. Don't want to. Oh, they might just get spooked off again. But actually, Ozuga looking to bleed the charge here. A lot of stuff coming out, but not finding too much right now. AXIZ. Oh my God! Out goes Uzuka, just take it out. He is just gone for the count. Washidai looking to move in here as well, looking to find something here. The cycle does get dropped. Big knock up indeed, big damage, but it doesn't even matter. Going 2 for 2 at the moment. Making it with the Emperor's Divine, knocking him over the wall. Absolutely huge. Down goes one though. Gonna flip on over the wall. Dresco going down as well. Megumin is too big. And so overall, they will go 3 for 4.
But with Jungler still alive, you can't attempt the Baron with just these two. Will be the mid tower going down in favor of AXIZ. A solid trade of 3 for 4, like you said there. And let's see how it actually kicked off, because it was a big bit of poke coming down from Dresscode's Ezreal ultimate. And when the counter engage from AXIZ just doesn't land, it is enough to hold up for a second, but the poke coming back in between Yuji and Dresscode is enough to clean him up. Washide with a really solid engage here, just getting in the way, but gets counteracted by the immense knock-up potential from the AXIZ squad. What an amazing way back into the fight, as now it's just Sanctuary and Megumin winning it all.
Yeah, it's crazy. That Ultra Shock laser damage that came out as well, even with that non-AP route, still did so much damage and assisted so much with grabbing all those kills. I will say, kind of felt like Ozuka's engage was a little bit like just kind of off the cusp. He's like, I'm going in, flashes, and then instantly kind of ease in, because the follow-up was just a little bit delayed. But I like the aggression coming out from it. I like that they had the vision. They're like, okay, I'm gonna get in there, get this big man stun going off, and at the end of the day, they do come out on top.
And it leaves them in a really good position right now, I say, waiting for the caster curse. But fortunately, Wukong, very good at getting hit by Zoe Bubble, because he could always just do that to him. Again though, Yu-Gi-Oh! Keeping this smite on the Summoner's Spellbook is really important, because it means that now, while you have this split push coming out from Washide, you could always threaten a steal, and it is reliable too. This is going to need to be a miracle from AXIZ, or at least forcing the engage soon.
Yep, third time's the charm, looking to take the Baron once again. They've got it down to 2.5k. They got, they steal it! Oh my god, they actually grab it though.
No way! They actually just get everything! This is all coming up V3, stop the bases! And there's a Camille! Going towards your Nexus, they got an inhib! Oh, they buy so much time as well. This is just really clean from V3.
They're stopping the ports. They're just letting Washidai do his thing, looking to go ahead, grabs that turret, grabs that inhibitor. They grab themselves the Baron. V3, they didn't come to play today. They're like, listen, we saw the opportunity. We're taking it. We're done taking these L's. They're looking to move up.
I'm so curious how much health that Baron had when AXIZ peeled off of it, because, well, I mean, it was clearly too low, but it didn't look that ridiculous. I think it was like 2.5k. Let's find out once we get the replay up, because, oh, hot damn, V3. Not going down without a fight, at least.
Yeah, no, I was so surprised, because I got so sad when I see AXIZ, right? Third time they're trying to take this Baron. Third time they go ahead and just let it reset it back off, and then all of a sudden it is just gone, just annihilated out of existence. So I'm genuinely curious if we do end up getting that replay to actually see what went down. But damn, they're baiting us. They're really not giving us that replay. They're not giving us what we want to see.
Unbelievable. As we are going to get, just looking across the map now, the question is, how do V3 capitalize on this Baron? They've got the bot lane inhib opened up, so I think that this is the right idea, playing 4 mid and then having Washide push top lane, try and secure that second tier 2 tower. And if you had lost the Baron, it would have been dire, right? We talk about the poke playing from ahead, but realistically what that means is playing with tempo, playing with priority, and losing Baron is just a death sentence for Ezreal Zoe comps. As now, they're playing very safe. I understand you're afraid of the Ornn engage, but you can stand a little bit further up than that.
They need a good, like, 1 lane distance, you know? Like, you gotta keep your distance, right? Double bubble does land. No fall this time around, though. But, hey, look, see, there's that engage, right? As soon as they smell that the bubble lands, they're like, ooh, kill? Yes, maybe. Aggressive.
Oh, Yellow Yoshi. I do like this position here. It sets up for such an unexpected Ornn ultimate.
Oh, no.
Immediately will apply Brittle to the furthest up person.
Yep, they don't know indeed. And in goes Odegaard already with the ultimate coming down with the Solar Flare. The Ornn are not quite going to find anyone just yet. And all of a sudden, the plan has been shot to pieces as they go ahead and grab themselves that first kill. Yellow Yoshi to get over the wall needs to get out of there, but is stuck in the Hextech Ultimatum. Nowhere for him to go. Precision Protocol goes right for the throat and takes him out.
Only the core carries left for AXIZ, and with super minions sieging into your bottom lane, you have to abandon this mid lane tower. Otherwise, the backdoor potential is just way too real. They're gonna lose a second inhib, could potentially lose the game here. Respawn times 15 seconds, Megumin. We need to see some fancy footwork and a hell of a good Emperor's Divide to keep this one going.
Yep, not looking good at the moment. J-Real's probably already snickering in his seat right now because he's probably feeling real good. Sanctuary, though, gonna go ahead and use that Lightning Crash. Gonna try and find something. Ultra Shock Laser not quite gonna find the mark, and so with that, not quite going to be able to find that engage. And V3 gonna play it safe. They got what they wanted, and they're just gonna get out, drag up in 27 seconds as well. Couple of backs coming in and grab those items, and then come on back, grab themselves that third drag so they can put themselves on soul point.
So let's see how this actually went down. Oh, it was just another bubble. Again, every time, as they manage to land the damage, the follow-up from Ezreal is amazing, and it means that Swamp can't engage. Yes, the Ornn ult does whiff, but who is even going to go in after? You can see it's just Azuka left alone on the front line, popped immediately, and it's just a completely split fight going down here. Very good stuff from V3. With that initial pick and capitalizing on it, they will get the dragon, putting both teams soul point. But most importantly, getting those two inhibs down means that you only have one place left to go now, V3. How are you going to break that third inhib?
Yeah, that is going to be the question. I can tell you right now, it probably starts with a bubble. I'll tell you that much. I think that's definitely, it starts with a bubble. It starts
with success in the form of a bubble.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going to have to look for some kind of avenue. And I mean, rightfully, I'd also ask, how does AXIZ get back into there? What's the avenue for them to take?
They wait. And I hate to say it, they do actually just have to wait and survive.
Please, no, please.
I know. It's the monkey's paw, right? We spend the entire game begging for action, and then you ask me how do they come back, and it's with inaction. Because the thing is, contesting this Baron is very scary. Obviously, fighting against the siege of Zoe Ezreal is going to be rough once they have it, but I think it will just be an inevitability, because if you walk out and start to contest around the pit, Washide could just end the game bot lane. The TP isn't up yet, but by the time Baron is, it's going to be damn close, and now it is inevitable that AXIZ will get priority, get vision on this top side, as they have been doing well throughout the entire game. It's just if they don't get picked in the process, that is the only way you can lose this advantage in an instant for V3. So it looks like, here's the plan.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, V3 has shown, right, that they're not afraid to go on and just be that four-man squad, have Why Should I push. We saw when they were trying to take that Baron, they're like, hey, Why Should I keep doing your thing, bro? Keep pushing that bot lane. Why Should I did that? Grabs the turret, grabs the inhibitor, and he's looking to do the same thing. Megumin can't even really step up to contest. Needs to be very careful. Hookshot going to Emperor's Divide, though. It's going to knock him on over to the turret. Actually, a whole lot of damage coming out, though. Why Should I just barely get out of the soldiers catch up to him? And down he goes. Does have the Guardian Angel to bring him back to life. Is going to be able to get out of there, but that is absolutely huge. That is the GA down and the base defended.
So the question is going to be, what does that actually mean for this Baron? Because all of V3 has now just ceded pressure. Unica is going to lurk around. Yu-Gi-Oh, by my mental maths, should not be able to get another smite available for at least one more summoner change, and doesn't have the Rabadons yet. So while the Smite Steel is still alive for V3, it's not as threatening as before. They can't rinse and repeat that same maneuver, at least not remotely as easily. So now it is just going to be what will break first. AXIZ's patience looking at this Baron buff, or their base when Washide takes it.
Yeah, that is the question. And Washide is definitely looking to have it be the latter. He's already moving down once again into that bot lane, looking to split, as we do see the rest of AXIZ moving up. Okay, fourth time, maybe fourth time's the charm. Now, we've done it 3 times. The third time we stopped and got stolen. Yeah, maybe this time
you can't peel off this. You gotta commit.
You gotta commit indeed. And the rest of V3 is looking to move in, and Washide once again down. No, they do it again. They steal it. How do they keep getting away with this? And they're gonna look to steal the health bars of AXIZ as well. Maybe even look to let them leave, because Washide just cracks that first Nexus turret as that goes down. And then they're gonna look to keep running them down. Azuka and Sanctuary looking to find something here, but overall just a bit of poke coming out. They lose the Baron once again. V3, y'all gotta chill. They moving, they pushing P right now. They looking good.
So well played. A second time over. Unica not missing today, as now we find ourselves in a very familiar game state. But now, with 2 inhibs down and the Baron buff available, the potential for this Camille to just saunter down the lane and end in the background while this dragon is contested is far too real now. As we take a look at what was actually lost in that fight, not really many summoners invested, if any. So it should just be the teleport down from Megumin coming back to the base to defend it, which leaves you in a very awkward spot because Ornn can't really stop Washide ending the game if they leave.
Yeah, in a bit of a tight spot there. Finally, we're seeing this offensive going down in that top lane as well as this mid lane. Looking to crack this tier 2 first and move on ahead. So much damage coming out already. That turret stands absolutely no chance. Gonna go down and look to move on to this tier 3 as well. They've got the mid lane pushing as well. Bot lane, only lane right now where there's really no pressure to worry about. As we can see, the minion wave is up actually over on V3's side, so they can focus their attention on this top and mid as they have to hold their base here if they don't want it to fall. The Baron siege potential is just too high right now.
V3 have come to end the game. They at very least want to get this mid lane inhib. If you don't get that, this siege is a failure. If you can get the top lane inhib, it's a big success because you can just peel off straight into the Dragon Soul. As it is such a game of patience. Those siege minions doing massive work as finally Megumin will be able to put up that mid lane tower to slow down the engage.
Yeah. Oh, Sandra though actually swamp with the Cyclone there onto Unica as well, looking to try and find something, but rather they're just gonna go ahead and get them to back off, buy themselves some more time here as they need to clear these minion waves. You see that Azir turret did get propped up on that mid lane tier 3, so that's going to allow them to protect that inhib and make sure that this the siege isn't as good as they wanted it to be.
We do have no flash on dress code. They are a target, but with what tools is the question? How do you get on top of this Ezreal when you aren't even given a chance? Looking at it though, AXIZ are holding off the V3 roster as it will be a TP into the bottom lane to draw some pressure from Yu-Gi-Oh! As now, Dragon still there, top lane still being left very gradually sieged. AXIZ playing this as well as they could.
Absolutely. Baron buff has been depleted now, so that is going to be down. That mid inhibitor is still standing. It's just still like no team has really made any moves yet. It's honestly, they're repelling it quite well. Like you said, AXIZ.
Baron's gone.
Yeah, Baron's gone, and AXIZ is standing their ground quite well. If you couldn't crack that inhibitor with the Baron buff, I don't think you'll be getting it without it, to be honest.
The only thing you can hope is that the enemy team just runs out of resources in V3's park. And it looks like, okay, fine, we couldn't get it. We didn't want to risk going for any hearty engages in the enemy base. But now, bot lane inhib isn't too far away. It's about to respawn, 7 seconds, there you go. As now, AXIZ are allowed to play on the map. They're allowed to come contest this dragon if they want to. I think it's a bad decision, as they will not even attempt to go for it. I think that's fine. It's just a Cloud Soul. They get a moment to breathe for AXIZ, and V3 grab the soul, but definitely don't advance much closer towards victory.
Yeah, no, still a long road ahead. A couple more bubbles are going to need to land if they want to be able to take this thing home. But for now, still looking good. V3, definitely a lot of avenues for them to win here. AXIZ, finally, like you said, right, they actually get to leave their base slightly. They get to go out onto the map. They get to explore and like take in the sights.
So this is the payout we get for the early cost of 0 action for 20 minutes. We get to have this hyper-tense late-game moment between two teams that so desperately want this win. AXIZ finishing 5 and 16, with 3 of those victories being against V3 with their 0-21 record. Both of these teams need the mental game from winning this, but if you take a look at the tools on the table, basically every carry by Yu-Gi-Oh! Now is 6, if not 5 items, and on the scale of things, there is a terrifying Zeri and a terrifying Azir for AXIZ that are just going to look to stand in front of a Baron and waste it away in front of you. You need another Miracle Steal from V3 or a pick beforehand off of a bubble.
Yep, maybe they'll look to find something or not. Owenhorn does get dropped here. They might have found something, though. A lot of damage coming out of Yu-Gi-Oh! And they are going to find him gold, but there's not going to be anyone there to protect him. And down he goes, and that might be what they needed. Sliding on over the wall, Saint-Chu looking to find something here. Got the blicky on him, looking to get this tier 2. Going to take that down as well. And are going to grab that and head on back. And it's like you said, now we've reached this really sort of tension-filled late game where those death timers, you can see, right, Yu-Gi-Oh! He still has 45 seconds to go, even though he didn't die too shortly ago. And so overall, whatever team falls here, it's pretty much over.
The biggest question is keep our eyes on the bottom lane, and can we see any form of outplay from this Camille onto the Azir, because it's so difficult. If you commit everything from Washide to jump on Megumin, then suddenly you get Emperors divided off, and they have a backup flash with a backup dash to get away. So it's so difficult for this Camille to actually split push the game away. The win con that we saw as one of the few ways for AXIZ to make this game losable, no, they are not giving a single chance. As now, Baron started up. Yu-Gi-Oh won't be there. It's just Unica this time.
We've been here before, and hopefully it's not going to be the same run back we've seen before. If V3 can grab themselves this Baron, they might just be able to end it here and there. It's getting low. It's going to go over the wall. Not going to find it, though. Unica needs to go ahead, flash over the wall so he doesn't go down. He is in base indeed, though. Looking to find something here. But that turret that got dropped, actually, from Megumin is going to stop Washide from being able to do anything. Those empowered recalls as well. They can't stop the ports, and Washide's got to get out of there.
That's only one inhib critically, which means that now AXIZ can push through that lane and basically negate the super minions. This is an opportunity to end the game. With Baron minions in your favor, suddenly we get to see the weakness that we have been hinting towards, foreshadowing for 40 minutes, that Zoe and Ezreal struggle against Baron minions, basically don't function as wave clearers anymore. And now it is, how do AXIZ utilize that? They are pushing through mid and bot. They already had the top wave set up. So this is coming up everything for AXIZ.
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, not only those Baron minions, you have Yellow Yoshi, who, I mean, just look how many, look how much his so far is section. Like, look, oh my God, he's absolutely huge. Same thing with Swamp as well, Sanctuary as well. So much healing going to be coming out from it. So now it's reaching that point where that poke, you know, you can't really poke when you're behind. They're not necessarily behind at the moment, but they're not as ahead as they would like to be, because look, the siege is going down, and that's going to be so much gold being funneled into these champs who all already almost are full build.
Hold on a minute. Megumin has gone back to base to stop this Camille split push, but they do not have TP. There is an avenue here for, as soon as they know, okay, they know that the Azir is back. This could be where V3 make their counter attack. Looking for either a flank or a TP play. They can go for a 4v5, but they're not even going to risk it here. It might just be a case of setting up vision. Elder is up in a minute 40. As soon as that one's down, it becomes... oh, hell. I would say it'd be impressive if either of these teams could survive the ever having Elder, because it just makes everybody's job so much easier. We don't need to go through all this tenseness leading up to a fight. It just executes immediately.
Yeah, Baron buff, still a minute on it at the moment, so they're going to have those empowered minions look to stop any sort of push coming through. But for now, we're looking for that opportunity. Maybe they find something here. The bubble goes onto the minions, so there will not be an engage. At this point, I can already call it. Like, if the bubble doesn't land, I don't even got to worry about it. I can literally just say they're not engaging. They're going to back off.
It does make me wonder what we're actually going to see for Yu-Gi-Oh's last item, because they haven't been in range to use that Ignite for quite a while, which means they are just locked out of that extra summoner unless they swap over the top of it. I expect it to be a Banshee's Veil coming out last. Could be a Horizon focus if they want to go for more damage. But at this rate, just avoiding getting picked out by Leona, avoiding getting jumped on like we saw leading up to the previous play, is essential for this carry for V3. Oh, so tense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, really, the moment anything goes down, it's anyone's game at the moment. And Elder up in 24 seconds. This will indeed be it. Both teams are going to want that Elder. Both teams are going to look to just send it this time around. And both teams realize whoever wins this fight very easily wins this game. 10 seconds left on it. And we see AXIZ already pivoting into the river here, looking to take control of it. Washide, once again in that top lane, looking to shove it out. And Megumin is going to be the one to respond. But Washide's like, hey, whatever, man, I'm out of here, bro. Like, you do your thing. I'm going to just move it to this mid lane if you're going to gatekeep the top lane. And already the dragon has been started. The True Shot Barrage is going to get them some vision on it. And now Unica, it's up to you, buddy. Got to hit him with that steal. Once again, the Ornor does get dropped, and they're actually looking to zone him off of it perfectly. Actually, they're going to look for the kill here. Can they find it, though? They do take him out. Has GA, so he does have a second chance to live. He's very tanky. I don't think he's getting out of this one, though. Down he goes into the hands of Sangshu. Washide, meanwhile, still in base, pushing. We're looking to grab that inhibitor, looking to jump onto Megumin here. A lot of damage coming out, though, as well. TP as well is going to force AXIZ to actually head on back and help defend here. And look at that. They're just like, hey, Swamp, go ahead, grab that drag for us. We'll be up in this space.
They're getting a lot done right now. They got the bot inhib, and now Swamp's actually peeled off to come down mid. Dress code has the flash to escape, and somehow V3 have managed to get away with that one, securing an inhib and not losing the dragon after their jungler dies. How have they managed to do that? In fact, because the bot lane wave is being cleared by Washude, they can't even look for AXIZ to TP in and end the game themselves. Okay, we've got Baron. Is completely down. Minute 30 up on that dragon. Still being taken now for what feels like an eternity by AXIZ. There won't be a contest on it, which means that V3 are going to need to play the tensest few minutes of their lives to try and steal this Baron away and survive the Elder Dragon.
And that's the crazy part. That's where you really notice how it's just timer diff, right? It's like you see Unica goes down. Swamp had enough time to start the dragon, head back out, head over to mid lane to try and find something, doesn't find anything, go back to the pit, hop back in it, and then do the drag and still grab it. Like, it is insane how high these death timers are as we are about to reach that 50-minute mark. So it's like, as soon as you go down, you are out of commission for a while. You might as well go get a snack or something.
All those jokes about Morgana binding, that is what the respawn timers are right now. If you get hit and die, typically by a bubble, that's it. You basically are out for the rest of the game at this point, with Elder Dragon holding up this Baron from AXIZ. Please, God, you have to be able to win off of this, surely. You can't get it stolen again, man. Like, this is not something to look at. But the thing is, I know I say it hopefully, but we do have a different attempt at the play right here from V3. They have two members looking down on Megumin, and the issue is they've not been able to jump on them, right? If they can get on top of this Azir, they can just end the game. They do not have a TP for AXIZ to get back. This is so risky, but V3 need to try.
Yep, they have to try and find something here. Empress Divide just try and get him off of him. It's going to go gold, though, trying to get that turret to do anything. So incredibly low. Washidai needs to be careful. It's going to get executed, and it's looking like a little bit of a base race. AXIZ is in the base. Meanwhile, they do get two turrets. There's no way that this is how V3 loses. They try their best, but they will go 0-22. Today's not the day they get through it, because AXIZ still managed to pick it up after all of that. Oh, my God. No.
The worst part about it, the worst part is V3's plan worked, sending the multiple members into the bottom lane. They had just killed Megumin on the Azir,